They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bug Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are 2 busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping that all is well with you and yours since the last time we had the opportunity to spend a little time with you at the end of last week. Obviously, our thoughts and prayers, concerns are for our friends and neighbors in the New Orleans area following an inordinate amount of rain dropped on the area as a result of that tropical system that came ashore over the weekend. 10 to 12 inches of rain in the New Orleans area is not something they can disperse easily. The hundreds of homes flooded there, heartbreaking. And some of those, even sadder still, were homes that had recently had completion of damage from storms in the last hurricane season. I cannot begin to imagine mentally what that must be like to finally get on the other side of that hurdle only to have it happen all over again. I don't think that the good folks in the New Orleans area would mind in the least if those of you that are members of the community of faith would be so kind as to keep those good people in both your thoughts and your prayers. Speaking of that system coming ashore last weekend, I am one of those individuals that, in keeping an eye on crime here in South Louisiana and across the state and nation for that matter, wonder on occasion if certain things, at least for a day or two, will give us a respite from homicides. And of course, you know, here in Baton Rouge, Friday, we were expecting to get a lot more rain than eventually we ended up getting. So at that point, I'm saying, okay, I'm sure everyone's hunkered down, making preparations, trying to stay safe. Hopefully, this will be an opportunity for a pause in this horrific increase in homicides. Sadly, not the case. Local area club holding a concert, and afterwards, a shooting erupts in the parking lot. 6 people shot, 2 people dead. Meanwhile, the city parish government is meeting now, holding a meeting of the minds, if you will, with law enforcement to figure out how to do something about crime here in the capital city and the capital city area. Because as you well know, typically come summer, there's an increase. It only stands to reason because people are out for school, they're out for vacation. Young people have more idle time on their hands, and inevitably, we end up seeing a spike in crime. Many times, it's minor, juvenile-related crime, but in recent memory, it's become more egregious, more felony crimes, and sadder still, more homicides. Quote, "It's far past time for us to do something about it. Many of us are looking for solutions and working towards interrupting violence." That quote is attributed to Lamont Cole, the mayor pro tem. I will give him one thing. Yeah, it's way, way past time. What is disturbing, however, to me, for someone who tracks this ungodly trend, it's disturbing that city leaders are meeting with law enforcement to find out, figure out, come up with ways to stop the anticipated increase in crime for the summer, when summer officially started this past Sunday. Shouldn't leadership require that you get ahead of something like this? It's not as though we haven't had indicators that this was going to be a horrific trend and it was underway. It is akin to the old adage, we're putting the cart in front of the horse. To fix a problem that is anticipated in the summer, you don't wait until a day after summer starts to address it. Law enforcement, meanwhile, says they are working with a lot of local nonprofit groups and joining them to take part in a lot of community events. Meanwhile, as you well know, this is no earth-shaking revelation for you. Law enforcement cannot fix this problem on their own unless you, as a taxpayer, or you, as a freedom-loving American, are willing to pay for a police officer on every corner of every street in your community. You can pretty much forget about police being able to police our way out of this problem. This is something that's going to have to be addressed on the home level. Pure and simple. It starts at home. All of the resources, all of the time, energy, effort, none of that is going to amount to anything unless and until we start the process at home. Pure and simple. And the city has announced that And bless their little old hearts. You know, you've heard me say in Louisiana, you can say anything about anybody as long as you either begin it or end it with bless their little old hearts. The city, in an effort to get a handle on this, June 25th, they're sponsoring a community bike ride entitled Pedaling for Peace. I, in an ideal world, would like to think that the criminal element will see people out on their bicycles, traveling down Government Street, maybe holding a sign, T-shirt, or a banner, "Stop the violence, no more killing, thou shalt not kill," whatever the saying is. In an ideal world, the criminal element would say, "Son of a gun, I had planned to rob this store today, but since they're having a bike ride, I guess that's out." I would like to think, in an ideal world, the criminal element would say, "I had planned to drive to North Baton Rouge and do a drive-by, but doggone it, in Mid-City they're having a bike ride, pedaling for peace. Oh well, I guess that's out." But sadly, as we all know, our world is not ideal. And quite frankly, at this point in time, we need a hell of a lot more than a bike ride, y'all. Just calling it like it is. We need a hell of a lot more than a freaking bike ride. Now, for some people, that may do it. Can't imagine who that might be, but maybe for some people, that might do it. But for the rest of those clowns who have exhibited no respect for the laws of this community, no respect for their neighbors, no respect for the decent, hard-working, honest folk that live in the community, a freaking bike ride ain't gonna cut it. Just saying. Just saying. I hope, God knows, I hope they prove me 100% wrong. But the old BPE factor, the based on past experience, tells me this ain't gonna do it, y'all. Maybe it's a start. Let's all hope for the best. But based on what we've seen in recent memory, it's going to take a whole lot more than this, y'all. Of course, now the old adage is a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Clarence, you got to start somewhere. Well, the problem is this ain't the first bike ride we've had and probably won't be the last. And yet, we're still on pace for a record number of homicides right here in the capital city. Just saying. Let me get this first break of today's show out of the way. It's Tuesday. Coming up, second segment. You know what that means, right? Oh, we got some doozies for today's edition of Now That's Just Stupid. That's up next on the Clarence Bug Show, here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with MANDA Fine Meats. Here at MANDA, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. MANDA Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. MANDA Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it MANDA every time.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
The first big sale of the year is here. The Dream Garage Spring Event is underway at Team Honda. For the first time ever, get $12.50 customer cash on every new 21 Passport, or get 0% for 60 months on every new 21 Pilot at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bud Show. If you're new to the show, we have, in response to a very concerning trend in America, and for this matter, the world in general, instituted a new segment. It is entitled, now that's just stupid. Notice the difference in the spelling. S-T-O-O-P-I-D. S-T-U-P-I-D is normal, everyday, stupid. But as we continue to breathe and continue to look around us every single day, we find out there is a brand new level of stupidity inhabiting this country. We start with what at one time was an institution unto itself. Victoria's Secret, the women's lingerie company, known famously for the Victoria's Secret Angels. You know, they put out the catalog every year, and, you know, it's all the rage in the bedroom communities. Well, in response to faltering sales in recent years, Victoria's Secrets is now going through a rebranding of the company. Well, sounds good, right? Yeah, we're going to rebrand the company and see if we can recapture, you know, the imagination of the American female populace, and once again, we will be the leader in lingerie. So what did they do? to accomplish this rebranding, they brought in a group of 7 people. I hesitated because the Huffington Post, I know, I almost gagged when I realized what I was reading. The Huffington Post says they're bringing in a group of 7 women. Never mind that one of the 7 women is transgender. You're a dude, bruh. You're a dude who thinks you're a woman, okay? But in addition to a transgender model, they brought in Megan Rapinoe, the female soccer player. You remember the one with the pink hair, refuses to stand for the anthem? That Megan Rapinoe. Feminist from ear to ear. And, of course, a couple of plus-size models. So let me get this straight. Victoria's Secrets is going to rescue the brand by bringing in a group of people to advise them, including Megan Rapinoe, a transgender model, and plus-size models. You ever notice how progressives manage to kill everything they touch? Wave bye-bye to Victoria's Secrets. I give it, what, Marty, a year? 12 months? 6 months, Marty says. Okay, so we'll split the difference. 9 months. They'll be declaring bankruptcy. Rebrand the company with these 7? Yep. Now that's just stupid. Oh yeah, they could join forces with Nike. Yeah, they can both lose. Yeah, get woke, go broke. Yeah. Secondly, as most Americans share the feeling, the United States military is, for me, hands down the finest fighting force on the planet. Some may beg to differ, but hey, I grew up in a military household. Got my brand new Father's Day Army ring on today. So the military has a very special place in my heart. I bet you didn't know that in order to ensure the fighting readiness of the finest military force on the planet, we have decided that the way to achieve this, to be sure that our fighting men and women have high morale, there's great esprit de corps, the whole nine, it was decided at Nellis Air Force Base that they need to sponsor a drag queen show. You heard me right. So let me get this straight. To ensure the morale, the esprit de corps, and the readiness of the finest fighting force on the planet, we need to have them view men in dresses, wigs, makeup, and stockings. It might be funny if it weren't so stupid. If ever you wonder where we're heading as a country, this will tell you pretty much everything you need to know. Officials with the Air Force at Nellis Air Force Base defend the show, saying that, well, you know, we got to be inclusive, and, you know, we have to, you know, we have to pay attention to social justice and all of this kind of crap. To ensure esprit de corps, to ensure our fighting men and women have the highest morale possible, we need to sponsor drag queen shows on base. I don't know if stupid with 3 O's would describe this one. Finally, you may notice I made it a point early on to say that the level of stupidity that we are witnessing these days, it's no longer confined just to America. It is now, I guess, officially recognized worldwide. As you well know, the Olympics is arguably the highest profile gathering of athletes from around the world. Every 4 years, they get together and you send your best athletically gifted people. Every other country will do the same, and we engage in competition and let the chips fall where they may. Well, you had to know it wasn't going to be long. You had to know, with the whole woke crap spreading across the planet, you had to know it wasn't going to be long. Sure enough, it's here. We will soon witness, well, y'all will soon witness, because I will watch the Olympics with the TV turned off. You will witness Laurel Hubbard from New Zealand competing in women's weightlifting. Did I mention Laurel Hubbard is a dude? But he identifies as a woman. Let me tell y'all something, in case you don't know. I identify as a car. Don't make me a BMW hoss. I identify as a car. Yeah, I got a motor. It's called my heart. I got a transmission, legs, arms. I got a windshield, eyes. I got wipers, eyelids. I identify, I got a horn, mouth. I identify as a car. Don't make me a BMW. Any day of the week, it ain't happening. Bruh, you're a dude. End of discussion. By the way, Laurel, who will probably be Lauren come Olympics time, set junior records in weightlifting in New Zealand in 1998, before he transitioned to a woman. Just in case you thought stupid only resided in America, the International Olympic Committee has now joined the ranks of those who practice was just plain, old-fashioned, stupid. Sadly, ain't going to be the last. Just keep breathing. Just keep breathing. Bottom of the hour break. We'll get this done. Come back and talk more with you on the Clarence Bud Show, here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bud Show. You know, I love it when people do things that prove you right. You have heard me say, God knows how many times, if you watch and listen to people, you will find out what they're truly all about. Particularly when it comes to politics and politicians. They love the soapbox to preach to Americans what we should be, what we should aspire to be. And of course, on many an occasion, to tell us how bad we are as people. Enter into the picture United States Democrat Senator Sheldon Whitehouse. You may remember the name Senator Whitehouse because he was one of those Democrats that preached to all who would listen about the ills of systemic racism following the deaths of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor. And of course, you would think that as a United States Senator inhabiting the halls of Congress, that he would only tell us what's best for us as Americans and only pursue policies that made America a better place to live. Well, recently, it was found out that United States Democrat Senator Sheldon Whitehouse is and has been a member of a very exclusive all-white club in Rhode Island. The club, by the way, has been in existence for 124 years. And in the history of this 124-year-old organization, they've not been able, of course it is Rhode Island, maybe this explains it, they have not been able to find one black person to invite to consider membership. But this is a guy who will preach to us about the ills of systemic racism. Local news organization there in Rhode Island confronted him about this. And of course, he defended his position, saying, quote, "It's a long tradition in Rhode Island, and there are many of them. I think we just need to work our way through the issues." So after Go Local is the local news organization there in Rhode Island that pressed him, the senator, on this, in 2017, Senator Whitehouse decided, you know what, it might be a good idea for me to change the focus on this. So he announced that he was going to resign his membership. Well, not exactly. See, what had happened was he didn't resign his membership. He transferred the membership to his wife. You can't make this stuff up. And yet, this guy will hog the camera to preach to us about the ills, the evils of America and systemic racism. One day, y'all gonna figure out that old Clarence is telling the truth when he says all you have to do is watch people long enough and listen to what they say. Then look at what they do, and you find out who they really are. By the way, the Congressional Black Caucus, not a peep. The NAACP, not a peep. This is rhetorical because we all know the answer. Can you imagine if it was a conservative that was found out to be a member of a 124-year-old elite beach organization, and they never once found a single black person to ask, would you consider being a member? Do you have any idea the uproar that the Congressional Black Caucus would make? You know, right, what the NAACP would be calling for as just and fair punishment for the guy if he was a conservative. Listen, y'all, in case you haven't figured out yet, these folks have become the masters of manipulation. Do as I say, not as I do. How in God's name do you stand in front of a camera or a group of people and talk about the ills of systemic racism, knowing you're a member of this organization that's 124 years old, and not once did you invite a person of color to even think about joining? You know what? In hindsight, maybe you are the best person to talk about the ills of systemic racism because you engaged in it. Maybe you are the best person to tell us these things because, after all, you've been an integral part of it. I get it. I understand. We are who we are. We are all products of our life experiences. I get that. But at the end of the day, stay in your lane, bro. At the end of the day, you can't teach what you don't know. You've heard that adage before. You can't teach what you don't know. A broke person can't teach you how to make money. If they could, they'd have some money. Wouldn't be broke. You can't teach what you don't know. So if you are teaching the ills of systemic racism, then apparently you know something about it. Just saying. Just saying. Weekend update before we head to the final break of today's show. So, Marty, you want to take a guess on how many people were shot in Chicago for Father's Day weekend? 52 people shot, 7 dead. And how many of them did white supremacists kill? None. You know how we know? Because nobody's rioting, nobody's looting, nobody's burning down stuff. I mean, after all, why would they? Because apparently it's just black folk. But our president and the Democrats / liberals / progressives will tell us white supremacy is the greatest threat to America. If you believe that line of crap, I have a mountaintop beachfront chalet in Bridal, Louisiana that I'll let you have real cheap. If you buy that, you'll buy anything, particularly when you go around the country and look at Detroit, look at Chicago, look at Oakland, look at LA, look at Atlanta, look at St. Louis, look at Kansas City, look at Milwaukee, look at Newark. Do I need to continue? Go around the country and look at all these Democrat-run cities where the blood of black folk, loyal Democrats, is flowing in the gutters like rain. And then you tell me that folks that look like me are supposed to believe when Joe Biden tells me white supremacists are the greatest threat to this country. When the last time you been to the hood, Joe? Just a question. Just a question. I know you can't find your way to the border. Maybe you can't find your way to the hood either. Just saying. Just saying. Speaking of Joe Biden, we got to talk about the elephant in the room, y'all. That's next when we come back and wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby YARBOROUGH with MANDA Fine Meats. Here at MANDA, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. MANDA Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. MANDA Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it MANDA every time.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonecountryClub.com.
The selection is deep, and the time to get a used car is right now from the Team Automotive Group. Shop and save on over 125 certified vehicles and choose from more than 700 pre-owned vehicles at any of our team locations. Or log on anytime at teamautouse.com.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With private healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back for the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bud Show. You know, one of the things that I admire about this country that I love so dearly is that, at least in recent memory, we've always been willing to confront certain things, as uncomfortable as they may be, as unfortunate as we may view them. At the end of the day, we as Americans were always willing to talk about the elephant in the room. In recent memory, I don't know what has happened to my country, but we are no longer willing to address the obvious elephant in the room. Let me give you a name. And remember this name, Representative Ronnie Jackson, United States Representative Ronnie Jackson. Probably the only person in this room that the name would resonate with, other than yours truly, is my dear friend Bill Profita. Representative Ronnie Jackson was the former White House physician for both Presidents Donald Trump and Barack Obama. Remember this. The official White House physician for both Donald Trump and Barack Obama. When are we as Americans going to address the elephant in the room regarding the mental acumen of the leader of the free world? Unless you have been worshiping exclusively at the altar of the mainstream media, you have to be troubled about the mental condition of our president. Unless you have been exclusively watching ABC News, NBC News, CBS, CNN, LOL, MSLSD, then you have no idea that the leader of the free world is in a compromised state. If this was my neighbor, I would call and report elder abuse. Pure and simple. Representative Ronnie Jackson this past weekend said the American people need an objective assessment of President Biden's cognitive capabilities. Quote, he's always made gaffes, but these are really different right now. He seems confused about where he's at and what he's doing. While in Europe last week, Biden didn't look like he was in control. He's not inspiring confidence in our allies, and he's sending the wrong message to our adversaries. He went on to say, give it 12 months, Democrats will have to face facts. It will be Democrats talking about this in 12 months. Here's the rub. Representative Jackson said, quote, it's concerning when the president forgets the name of the Secretary of Defense while introducing him, and during his announcement about him, forgot the name of the Pentagon. You're the freaking commander-in-chief, and you can't remember the name of the Pentagon? You know, the funny shape, the thing. America cannot be comfortable with this. Now listen, I understand it's not easy to talk about. I get it. If you have been so fortunate, so blessed not to have anyone in your family ever be affected by something like Alzheimer's, something that leads to a debilitating state of mental acumen. Count your blessings. But for those of us that have been there and done that, not to mention those of us who love this country dearly, to watch this all unfold is sickening. It's disgusting, and flat out, it's frightening. You think maybe, just maybe, Democrats had a little inkling about this when they started suggesting, you know, I don't know if we want the president to have the nuclear codes. God himself, in his word, tells us he chastises those he loves. God will only let you go deviant behavior for so long before he will straighten your butt out. Those of us that have been there and done that, at some point we come to the realization that my family member has a problem. When is the last time you remember the leader of the free world can only take pre-screened questions and has to have note cards on which reporters to call on? Listen, y'all, you ain't got to be Einstein to figure this one out. You don't have to be the brightest bulb in the chandelier to figure out something is wrong here. And yet, those of you worshiping at the altar of the mainstream media, you probably don't have a clue. You think, oh, well, everything's fine. Nothing, my friends, could be further from the truth. Just remember where you heard it, because you will hear about it again. Because as Representative Jackson stated this weekend, it's not going to get any better. It's only going to get worse. But that's okay. The second in command is more than capable. Oh my God. 10655 Coursey Boulevard is where we shoot the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Bayou Smokehouse, the home of old school barbecue. And by the way, they are still looking for some servers, need some additional folks. So if you're looking to get back in the swing of things, want to work with some great people, this is the place to be. Come on by, see my friend Amy, fill out an application, and become a part of the Bayou Smokehouse family. When they say the home of old school barbecue, listen, I'm a South Louisiana boy. Love my smoked sausage off the grill. But when I can watch the guy grind the sausage himself, make it fresh every single morning, take it out and put it on the grill, got my vote, son. You got my vote, hands down. He would get a chuckle out of this. The head chef's name is Finn. I told Finn, you remind me of my old Momo. Every time I see him, of course it's all electric now, but I can see my grandmother with that old cast iron grinder clamped on the kitchen cabinet, making sausage, buddy. That's what they do here at Bayou Smokehouse. My time's up, y'all, and I gotta go. But this day, maybe more so than any other, I give it to you. You're right. America? Nah, we're not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you know he loves you, and you know I do too. Best news all day? There ain't a doggone thing you could do about either one. Bill Profita's next. See you tomorrow. God bless.